Hey, I'm Kenneth Wajda. I'm a professional photographer here in Colorado. Welcome to another one of my weekly Leica talks, all things Leica. So today I want to talk about the best 50mm lens ever. And that's this Summicron Rigid 50mm f.2. Is it the best ever? I don't know. I think that the dual range 50 is a beautiful lens too. I like the later model 50. I like the 50 1.5 Summarit. So maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But it's certainly good. And it's certainly an older lens. It's from the 60s. It's certainly not a lens that's going to be clinically as sharp probably as today's Leica lenses. It'll probably have a little bit more of a softness. They say it's hard to find some without front lens scratches or coating scratches, but this one's fine. And I traded for this. I can't afford to buy Leica lenses, but I had a Bronica GS1 6x7, and I'm not a big 6x7 guy. And I had picked that up over the years, and I found I wasn't using it. And the gentleman who was selling the Leica lens was also interested in a 6x7. So we were able to make a straight up deal. And he got a new system that'll inspire him, and I have a Leica 50mm rigid that I want to try out on this Leica M6, which I think is a good combination for this camera. And then I like having the grip on it. I added a grip to this one, and this is kind of my go-to now for when I'm going over to a friend's house and I want a metered camera with a 50. I'm going to just take this, as opposed to taking a collapsible camera or a pocketable camera. This is the latest. And it's, you change by the season, you change by what you're inspired by working and shooting with. I like the 50mm Summicron dual range, so I'll be curious to see how this compares to it. Since this is new, I don't have experience yet with it. But if you're looking for camera gear and somebody's selling Leica, see what they want. What else do you have? A lot of us have a lot of cameras. What else do you have that you aren't using that might be just the thing that inspires them, while you're able to get into a lens that is out of your price range? I think this one was a little bit lower because it's got a little bit of marks on it. It's not like in pristine collector condition. I'm not looking for collector. I'm just looking for clean glass that makes good pictures. I'm actually probably glad it isn't in pristine condition, because then maybe it would be $1,200 or $1,500. But it wasn't, and it was able to be a nice straight up deal, nice straight up trade. So 50mm Summicron rigid, they had two versions. There was a version 1 which had a kind of a different scallop to this focus ring. And some people complain about this focus lock, but I don't mind the focus lock. It comes right off. You can open off the focus lock. I don't really see where the focus lock is much of a problem, but some people complain about that online, but I don't. I actually always like it. And I like that this 50 has this knob to focus with, because I have a later 50mm that's a more modern one, and it's just this. And I prefer to know where I'm at without looking, and this gives me that ability to do that. So recommend it, or I'll let you know once I shoot it. But the 50mm Summicron, anything 50mm Summicron, you probably can't go wrong. All right, that's today's photography talk. Talking Leica. Do you use a 50? Do you like it? What's there not to like? All right, that's today's photography talk. I'll be back next week. We'll talk more Leica. If you can support, hit the Patreon. If you aren't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, and I'll be back. As always, here's the good light.